Okay. Let's see if this works. Okay, we should be live. Okay. I'm not sure what else to do here. All right. I'm going to go forward. Hi, everyone. How's everyone doing? Um, Happy Valentine's week. And I wanted to talk to you about love and connection. I think this is the week where so many of us, it comes up for us. For some of us, it's a very romantic week. For some of us, people ignore it completely. And for others, it's a triggering place. It's a place where you feel like you're going to be disappointed or you have been disappointed in the past. And so just want you to take note of where you are in that. If you're ignoring, if you're not, what's going on with you. And today we're going to talk about 3 ways to really make sure that you get the love that you need. If you want more love and connection in your life from anyone, it's really an indicator that it's time for you to give it to yourself, from you to you. I know for myself, this time of year used to really bring up a lot for me because I didn't really like myself that much. I was very hard on myself, but I thought if I could find that person in my life to love me, then I would feel lovable. But what I know now is that I really needed to do some of the harder work, really, about loving myself. So the questions I have for you are, here's some place to start. What thoughts and words are you using to describe yourself? In other words, how do you talk to you? Is it in complimentary ways? Is it in supportive ways? Is it in compassionate ways? Or is it like you're always needing to improve something? You're always falling short. You're screwing up. You don't know what you're doing. I know for me, one of the big ones is I'm a failure. I would say that that was the subconscious stuff going on, how I was failing, how I was falling short, how I was not worthy. And man, that really does a number on you. And it makes you feel like you're not very lovable. And then that can go in all sorts of directions. But if you want to stop feeling that way and really feeling the power of self-love, here are some things that you can do. Okay, so make a list of how you describe yourself. And I want you to, for every slightly unkind thought you have about yourself, I want you to come up with 3 kind thoughts. I know that may sound like a challenge to you, but for every, ugh, I'm so stupid, I want you to come up with 3 counter things like, I'm smarter than I thought I was. I work really hard. I always do my best. In other words, for every time you have this kind of negative thing, you really need to counter it with a positive thing. And the reason we do that is because when you have a negative belief about yourself and you can't conceive of a positive belief, you're just going to keep believing the negative belief. But if you can literally get a piece of paper and write down the negative belief and then something positive, then at least you have a chance. When you have that negative belief, it's time to put your attention on the positive belief. It's really helped me a lot. And I got this exercise from Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. I can't remember the name of the author, Joe Dispenza. It was Joe Dispenza. And it was a very simple exercise. For every belief or thought you had about yourself that was not positive, you then put a positive one on the other side so that at least you have a direction to go when you're feeling those things. Okay, here's another way to do this. I want you to write down the story of some feelings that you're having. And as you're writing down that story, after you've written it down, just a couple sentences, I want you to read it as if it's happening to someone else. And this person that it's happening to is someone you really, really adore, someone you love unconditionally. Could be a parent, a child, an aunt, an uncle, a pet. And I want you to read it as if they are telling you the story. And then I want you to notice how you feel about the protagonist of the story, which is really you, but you're reading it as if it's someone else. How does that shift? When you read the story about yourself, how do you feel about it? And then how do you feel about it when you're reading from the perspective of someone you really adore? In other words, you adore this person and this is happening to them. Notice if your perspective changes. Maybe you realize, wow, I need a little compassion. I'm not really giving myself much compassion. What would you say to this person that you adore who's going through this? And ask them what they need and then give that to them. Now, I'm saying this really fast. This is like a process that could take some time, but just write that down. Write a story about yourself. Read the story from the perspective of this adored person is going through it. Notice how you feel about them. Ask them what they need and give that to them, to you, really. Okay, how's everybody doing? Okay. The next question I have for you is, how do you set up your day? So, in other words, a lot of times the way we set up our day is a reflection of how we feel about ourselves, if we love ourselves and we feel connected. So let me ask you this. Are you racing around in your day? Are you going from thing to thing without a break? Do you give yourself some space and support in your schedule? Does your schedule run you or do you run your schedule? In other words, the way you set up your day, are you feeling like it's crazy town? You don't really get anything done. You don't feel good at the end of the day. Or do you feel like you're able to kind of flow through your day with support and replenishment, times of focus, times of rest, times of activity, times of inactivity? Do you give yourself those rhythms that you need in order to have a great day? And if you don't, then a great thing to do is to schedule in what I call love time. Now, love time could be a lot of things, but in this case, it could be things like having a break, having a good lunch, having some time to drink water, having some social time, having time to dance. Sometimes I dance in my living room, having time to just rest and chill out. In other words, once again, think of this person that you adore. Think of them showing you the schedule that you have and going, oh, honey, you're going nonstop. You need to chill for 5 minutes or meditate or do yoga or take a walk or whatever it is. It doesn't mean you're on your couch the whole day. It just means that there's times where you can rest and the times that you're active. Here's another indicator of where you are in terms of connection and love. How do you use your resources? What I mean by that is, and I've done this myself, that sometimes I don't use an outside resource until I have exhausted every other thing, until I'm really in pain, until it's really bad, until it's crisis level. And I know a lot of people do that, but when you are really tuning into yourself and really connected to yourself, you use your resources more efficiently and earlier. You don't wait till it's a crisis. You use them before the crisis. So that could be asking someone to help you, right? Before you land in the hospital, going to the doctor or your massage therapist, or talking to friends. Friends are resources. They're human resources to you. They're there to support you as you support them. They're there to listen as you listen to them. They're there for social interaction, hugs, whatever you need. These are all resources. Sometimes, if you're in business like I am, and I've done this, is I wait till I absolutely have to hire someone to help me in doing something I know I don't like to do or I'm not very good at. And I've gotten better as I've become more connected to myself to find people who do things that I am not good at, nor do I like, so that they can help me. And guess what? I get to help them by paying them to do something they actually like. So it's a great investment for both of us. So, how to use your resources. And could you be using them before there's a crisis? In other words, practice asking for help with little things at first. You know, I ask my husband for help all the time. Can you help me figure this out? When you have a minute, can you fix this for me? What do you think of this idea? Right? So ask people for the small stuff at first if the big stuff is really hard. And then as you have those experiences, those positive experiences of getting support, then you're able to ask for the bigger stuff. Okay. So if you feel like some of these are really good first steps for you for more self-love and connection, practice them and let me know how it goes. Put it in the comments section. I would love to hear from you. And the other thing I just ask you is if you want more of this kind of stuff, join my Facebook group, Calm Mom Alliance. This group has been growing and growing. It not only has moms that are just like you looking for support, but has practitioners, service providers, product providers that all serve moms. So it's not just me. It's all of my colleagues who do Reiki, massage, accounting, um, working with little babies, teen coaches, parenting coaches, um, organizers, all sorts of people, financial people, so that you have this sort of trusted village, if you will, not just to raise the child, but to support the mom. So I encourage you to join Calm Mom Alliance if you haven't already. And you can also get my free rapid stress reliever, which is on my website, which is really just a simple breathing technique that really helps to calm your physiology so that you feel better and you make better decisions and you have more energy. Because look, being a professional mom can be really hard and sometimes it can suck, but it also could be one of the best personal development programs of your life. And life gets way, way better when you befriend yourself, like doing some of these things, believe in yourself, and have a supportive community, and really that you can laugh at what usually drives you crazy because you're worth it. Here's to you. So have a great day, guys, and I will see you next week.